For many people, working from home became standard practice almost overnight during this pandemic. Now, new research out of the Niagara region offers some insight into what can help make remote and hybrid working models successful, even as companies look towards post pandemic arrangements. Justin Chandler covers the Hamilton Niagara region for Ontario Hubs, and he joins us now on that. Welcome, Justin.
Hi, thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the study that you reported on. What was it exactly looking at when we talk about remote work?
The Niagara Community Observatory put together a piece, and it's a policy brief. So it looks at all sorts of different research about remote work. And the goal is to put together a series of questions that employers can ask themselves now that they have the option of not doing remote work because it's an emergency and it's the only way to work, but because now just a lot of people like doing it. So as workplaces try and figure out what they want to do, the goal of this brief was to give them questions they can ask to decide, like, okay, are we the right fit for this, and can we support it long term?
Now let's talk about sort of barriers that come with working from home. We know that this particular study, and we know in Niagara that roughly 70,000 people were working from home during this pandemic. What were some of the obstacles and barriers there?
Well, some of them are ones that we'll have heard about before. Internet was a big one that I heard about, especially in the more rural areas. People working from home with young children doing schooling, or just young children being around was difficult, having resources. But then there's also things like just not feeling connected to coworkers was actually something really big, or troubles with communication and trying to connect to people in a way that you might normally be able to in an office just didn't really work the same virtually.
Now we should say, while there are some challenges, there have been some successes as well. What did you learn about that?
Well, people love getting the time back spent commuting. A lot of people would spend 2 hours a day commuting, and suddenly that time's back and there's more that they can do. People have said that they like a little bit of a more casual environment. Maybe they don't have to dress up so much. So there's just some benefits like that.
Now, I'm sure our managers will enjoy this question because I think a lot of focus has been sort of on, how do we as, workers sort of deal with the day-to-day stuff, but managers also have to deal with other stuff, whether it's complaints and concerns amongst employees, but also that sort of culture building as well. What are the challenges for managers and how are they different?
Well, I'm hearing from researchers and from people involved, even in business, that yes, the managers actually need to do a lot more work here. And it requires a lot of introspection when trying to figure out if they can support a remote team. Now, a lot of managers didn't get any training on how to do this, but now that things are moving forward, places like the South Niagara Chambers of Commerce are actually offering training so that managers can better figure out how to do work remotely. It requires changes in how you supervise a team, but also in how you create opportunities for those sorts of more social connections, like whether you're going to do informal socials or whether you're going to pair up interns with mentors. I think a lot more intention is required, and that's one of the biggest things that I've been hearing is that you can't just expect your team to work the same as they would when they could all see each other. There's actually a lot more mediation and a lot more hands-on work that is needed to create those opportunities.
What I found quite interesting is you looked at something regarding personality. Is there a specific kind of personality that is best suited for remote work? And I was surprised there might be some conversation about age, but not the way that most people might think as well when it comes to remote work.
Right. So as far as when you talk about that, like a lot of people might think, okay, young people are going to be great at this because they do video calls all the time. They know how to do texting. They've got up-to-date devices. But actually, what a lot of young people were reporting in the research that I've looked at is that they were struggling because people who are more established in their careers and who already knew each other really well were finding it easier to communicate with one another online. They sort of knew the nuances. They knew one another's lives. They had networks. And younger people, a lot of them report wanting social connections and wanting to be able to use work as a place where you can also make friends. And even just finding that they didn't know people very well. So it was harder for them to reach out to a coworker with a problem or to reach out to a manager if they didn't feel comfortable with something.
Now, you started working at TVO during a pandemic, but also your job by definition is remote, where maybe a lot of reviewers don't know, but you are situated in the Hamilton area and you cover a region, but you don't come into the office. Actually, we've chatted more on this sort of a remote sort of chat than in person. I've only met you once, in the flesh. But what's that experience been like for you, sort of to come onto a new job, sort of go through, sort of the day-to-day dealing with different programs, and also, coming on broadcast as well?
Well, it's really strange. Like you said, we've only met once in person, and I can say JN is even more handsome in person than he is virtually here. But like, it's just so weird sometimes to work with people and not really know what they look like, other than like this close, like shoulder shot. Not know what it sounds like when they really laugh, or not know a lot about their lives. And so one thing that I try to do is, I don't know, reach out to people, find what they're interested in, try to share a little bit about their lives. Like I send pictures of things that I see on my morning walks to the group. But you really have to come up with new ways to connect to people, because you're not just talking to them at lunch, or you're not kind of bumping into them in the hallway and saying hi. So you sort of run the risk of a situation where like you log on in the morning and then everybody's active light just sort of fades away and they disappear. And so you can feel more isolated, I think, than you do in a physical office environment.
Justin, really great stuff. Really appreciate it. I don't know if I can make any promises, but hopefully you can hop on a GO train and join me in studio maybe in a few months or so. So we look forward to that, hopefully. Thank you so much.
My fingers are crossed.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is made possible through generous philanthropic contributions from viewers like you. Thank you for supporting TVO's journalism.